When you are attached to desire, you say, I really, really want this. You are putting it on a pedestal and you are energetically separating yourself from it. So the key to this now, first off, I've got a little bit of an emotional charge about the law of attraction because I don't think it's just thinking. I wish it was. I was sitting on my couch for months and months and months and trying to manifest meeting Tony Robbins, all these like notable figures, and nothing freaking happened. But I thought of it, and you could say, well, you just didn't believe enough, Aaron. Well, if I'm not taking action to put myself into circumstances where that could actually happen, then it ain't gonna happen. But what really got me results was not just thinking, it was thinking paired with action. And that was me making videos. Now, it's not even just the thinking, though. It's the changing of the identity. It's the changing of the way you view yourself. I viewed myself as a 9-to-5 job goer who complains about how slow it is selling women's shoes. And there's like, I help 4 customers a day sometimes because it's so slow. That's one reality. I was thinking, feeling, and acting equal to that reality. Then I had a reality check and I said, I don't want to be living in this. And then there's these trigger points we have that then help us change our identity. One of it for me was I was working at that job at Barney's, New York. And long story short, there was this belly button situation. Many of you guys maybe have heard the belly button story. But basically, we were talking. I started this trend at the job I worked at where what you would do is you'd be talking belly button to somebody. And what you would do is you'd put that word belly button into the sentence where people may have seen it, may have not seen it. And it's like almost such a pattern interrupt that people just gloss over and pretend like it's not there. So what I would do is I'd be helping someone with I'd helping a customer with a pair of shoes, and what I would belly button do is put that word right in there to where you could barely hear it. Now you know it's coming, so you heard it most likely. But I said belly button like 2 times in that, and many of you may have heard it, but it's because I've already said it and I've already talking about it as a thing. But if in a regular conversation, I used to actually do this in some of my older YouTube videos, just for fun. The old YouTube videos, I have videos where I say the word belly button and I say it as if, and just to see if people recognize it, because it's just this fun thing I do. It's to loosen up the vibe. We live in a virtual reality where we forgot who we are so we can remember who we are, so we can just have fun and not take life so seriously. And when I used to work selling women's shoes, guess what? You get these like, some of them are really high-end, prude, like snooty customers. Some of them aren't, but some of them are very wealthy and they carry themselves in this very particular way. So I would loosen up the vibe. And I'd be like, hey, how can I help you? And I'd have fun. And then I'd say the word belly button. And then I got other people I worked with to say the word and to like try to do it. Some people were better than others. And I would even like, I'd take it as far as like the store manager would call my department. I'd say, Barney's, New York, women's shoes, belly. Or I'd say, Barney's, New York, belly button, Aaron speaking. Or like something like, how'd I say it? I said, women's shoes, Barney's, New York, women's shoes, Aaron speaking, belly button, how may I help you? That's what I'd say. Aaron speaking, how may I help you? Anyways, I would do that, and people, I get away with it all the time. And then this one guy that I worked with, he kind of fucked up. What he did is he went into someone's email and changed their footer so that at the bottom of their email, it said their name, women's shoes, and it said belly button. No context, this word belly button. Well, eventually what happened is she emailed the store manager because she needed something, and the store manager then called her to her office and said, hey, why does it say belly button at the bottom of your email? And she said, oh, all the people in the department have been saying belly button. It's Aaron. He's this stupid thing he's doing, blah, blah, blah. So everyone thought it was me. Wasn't me. But basically what happened, because I didn't even know how to do that. It would have been easy to figure out. There was one guy in the department that was good with tech stuff. And he was good at like emails and stuff like that. And he would know how to change the template of that. No one else really knew how to do that, but he was the one that did that. But it was also a pastor at a church. So nobody wanted to nobody called anyone else. No one ratted anyone else, but everyone thought it was me. Wasn't me. It was the pastor guy that was like this little angel. But nonetheless, what happened is we all got called to the office. We got reamed and told if we ever said the word belly button again, we'd be automatically fired. And then what happened is after that, there was a moment when a couple weeks later, it was so slow at this job. I'm not kidding you guys. We would sometimes be standing around we're wearing suits. We're standing around for sometimes hours without seeing a single person because it's so slow. So what we do is one person would be on the sales floor if I had a coworker with me, and one of us would go in the back and just go on our phones because there's nothing else to do. So I go on our phone, and one time, what they did is they called me up to the office. and they made me watch video camera footage of me being on my phone for 5 minutes one day. And literally for 5 minutes, they wanted me to sit there and watch myself on my phone scrolling on Instagram. And I'm like, well, there's someone else on the sales floor, so we don't really do anything wrong. Well, it's like they were like rubbing it in my face that I was on my phone. And after a minute of watching this video, I said, okay, I get the point. And they're like, no, watch the video, because they wanted to really prove the point to me, right? So they just wanted to see me continue to watch myself on camera, scroll on Instagram. And it was so humiliating that I decided in that moment that I don't ever want to work for somebody again. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to bridge this reality where I'm not working this stupid 9-to-5 job, being told what to do, have to deal with corporate politics. There was like a lot of corporate BS we had to deal with. A lot of like corruption with the upper management too, and just the way they did things. You had to beg for your schedule. It was dumb. It was just dumb. I wasn't about that life. So basically what happened is I then made the choice. I'm going to go daily on YouTube, and that's the reality I began to wire in, being a full-time YouTuber, regardless of the results. I made videos every single day on YouTube, and I had this feeling that if I did that for a year, my life would transform. Well, it didn't take a year. It took a couple months. Videos started to go viral. I committed to that identity, and my whole reality changed. So it wasn't just thinking. It's just that sometimes thinking leads to action, leads to synchronicity, leads to results, which leads to like a reconfirmation of a belief. So when you look at that scenario, though, the law of subtraction is that I had to let go of something for me to then wire something in. I had to be aware and let go of the 9-to-5 job that I didn't like. And I didn't let go of it and then go full-time. I did both. But I energetically had to let go of the story I was telling myself about why I was where I was, rationalizing my life, being like, in my mid-20s, not where I wanted to be, and like judging myself. And I had to let go of the comfort that I had at that job as well. And I had to get uncomfortable. I had to start making videos every single day while I had a 9-to-5 job. It wasn't easy. It wasn't always easy. It got easier because I developed momentum. But there's different things that you have to let go of to then allow something else in. One of the obvious ones too is like when I was creating my dream life, I had a lot of friends that I used to smoke weed with. I used to drink with. And that was a pattern that I'd fall into, and it was very hard for me to get out of that pattern. Well, when I committed to my vision and the identity of me making daily videos on YouTube, which then after, a couple months, things went viral and I was able to leave my 9-to-5 job in August of 2017. Before that, I'd have friends I hung out with that I had to start drawing boundaries with, and I had to let go of hanging out with them as much because I realized that my energy was being drained or my energy was being lowered because I was then doing and falling into old habits. So I quit. I had to draw and let go of that. The people you're around the most are affecting your vibration. And if you continue to fall into old patterns because of peer pressure or whatever, it's going to keep you tied to your old reality. And really what keeps you tied and what you got to let go of what is giving you an emotional payoff, what is giving you and keeping you in comfort. The law of subtraction is about letting go of the reasons of why you are remaining attached, because attachment is the root of all suffering. And as I've said in many of my videos, the highest vibrational you, it's natural for you to be high vibe. The only thing that keeps you not feeling high vibe or high all the time is attachment. Attachment to people, attachment to habits, attachment to patterns, attachment to beliefs, attachment to the stories you tell yourself, attachment to people. These attachments keep you in lower vibration. And if you were to let go of these things, you would then naturally raise your vibration and you would feel better, and then you would attract a reality that is equal to that new identity. But remember, this isn't just letting go of the thoughts. This is letting go of different attachments that are connected to your vibration. And as you let go of them, your vibration naturally raises. I used to smoke a lot of cannabis all day, every day. I used to take Adderall during the day because that was for ADHD, and the side effects of Adderall was, even though I was able to focus every day very sharply, at the end of the day, I couldn't sleep or eat, and that was harsh side effects. So I would smoke weed, and that's what I would do. Now, when I learned meditation, I started feeling differently in my body. I started letting go of different things. I let go of the pain of my past. I let go of certain people in my life, and then all of a sudden, my vibration raised, and I started to feel high all of the time. My vibrational set point was priorly at about a 3 out of 10, and after learning meditation and going in my body, it was at a consistent 7 or 8 out of 10. And that I felt high all the time. I literally thought that feeling was going to go away. I thought that maybe the feeling of me that I feel, I hope this doesn't go away. I was walking around my room thinking that. It never went away. It became my natural set point. Now, of course, it fluctuates. I'm not saying I'm enlightened or anything, but it goes from that 7, it goes maybe down to a 6 if I'm frustrated or I don't stay there too long, and then it goes back up. But that became my natural set point. I believe that's everyone's natural set point. Once you let go of the things that no longer serve you. And right now, if you're listening to this, then you can join. I'm launching the 21-day Raise Your Vibration Challenge. We're doing another round. And when you join, you can also join the Daily Vortex app. The Daily Vortex app is where I'll be doing live activations. There's my meditations from YouTube. There's other premium meditations there. And it's a monthly charge, and you can cancel at any time. And it's a very low ticket thing. The price is eventually going to go up. But if you're listening to this, then it is officially live. And you can go to thedailyvortex.com, and you'll also see the 21-day challenge there as well that you can join. And we're going to be going through the 21-day Raise Your Vibration Challenge for letting go. There's activations that there's going to be that are already scheduled out that you'll see there. This is the new app. The app isn't actually ready yet, but it will be soon. But you can still access this on your phone and everything. But soon there'll be an actual standalone app that you can join, which I'm super excited about. But it's called The Daily Vortex. So go to thedailyvortex.com right now. You can join, and there's meditations, there's live workshops, there's a whole bunch of this is a container for raising your vibration to a higher level, and it is a way that you can do that consistently. And it's my main thing now. It's what I really focus on. It's a community inside as well. You'll also be part of my new app called High Viber, which is connecting people all over the world that are also like soul family and part of your high vibe tribe, people that think similarly to you. But anyways, you can go to thedailyvortex.com. You can join right now. And you'll see the 21-day Raise Your Vibration Challenge that you can join as well. And I'm super excited about it. But anyways, that's a little side point as well. But with this law of subtraction, let's go into the different nuances of it. So first off, what are the different things that we are attached to? Now, one of them is desire. When you are attached to desire, you say, I really, really want this. You are putting it on a pedestal, and you are energetically separating yourself from it. So the key to this is letting go of desire. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't want anything and you're in apathy. It means that instead of wanting, you focus on being. You focus on the identity, on it being natural for you. Anything you put on a pedestal, you vibrationally separate from yourself. If you say it'd be really, really cool if I made this much money per year, realize there's a version of you where it's natural for you to make that per year, but you're not focused on the results. You're focused on the being. You're focused on the process. When I make videos that I want to get views, it has a very different energy than when I make a video of something I'm passionate about. And the videos that go viral are always the videos that I'm passionate about because I'm in the process. It's all about the process. Yes, there's a result, there's an end goal. You can become aware of that, but you let go of your attachment to it happening the way you think your ego wants it to happen. And what you do instead is you start focusing on the being. You start focusing on that identity. So desire is wanting, is lacking. So you let go of that by focusing more on the process. Anytime I've really wanted something, when I really wanted to make a lot of money or to do all this stuff, it wasn't natural, and I resisted it. And you create subconscious blocks too. And you sabotage yourself. So instead, be patient and look at it as a longer process. Now, what are the other things? Now, a belief in a story is probably one of the main ones. For the law of subtraction, the more you let go is the more you allow in. So one thing I want you to do right now is I want you to look at something you want to bring in and then look at what you need to let go of, what you need to subtract from your life in order for you to allow that in, because that thing wants to come into your life. That thing wants to come into your experience, but it can't because you are holding on to something right now that is blocking it. This is a clip from the Daily Vortex podcast where I post 2 times a week And we go really deep on understanding consciousness, understanding how to raise our vibration, how to bring these spiritual concepts down to earth in a relatable and practical way. For the whole entire episode, you can click the link below, but also subscribe to that of the Daily Vortex podcast on either iTunes or Spotify. That's where there are a backlog of over 100 episodes, plus the whole entire episode length is there. On this channel, you will only be seeing clips moving forward. So if you want the whole episodes, you can click the link below. You can subscribe. They're also very easy to listen to. They're automatically downloaded once you subscribe, plus you'll never miss an episode. So this is where most of my intention is and my energy is going these days, and I look forward to bringing you many more amazing episodes. But for the rest of this episode, you can click below and you can subscribe to the Daily Vortex podcast, and I look forward to helping you expand your consciousness in a very practical and relatable way. So I'll see you on the next episode, and as always, peace, much love, and namaste.